Hello everybody and welcome to a new Stellaris video. Yesterday in Montu's finals, something very special happened, which is one of the best players in the game, Pax, achieved what you see now by year 44 in a multiplayer tournament game. He's making 1.45 thousand alloys, so almost 1,500 alloys, 1,500 tech, 200 unity, and over 1,000 spare energy credits and 700 minerals at just year 44 in the game. These are some unbelievable numbers, and I wanted to show you guys the build he was playing. Now, given that he is one of the best players in the game, with a very advantageous position from the situation in the game, we are not going to be able to achieve those numbers. But I'm going to show you guys how you can still get maximize this build from years 0 to 30 in a more realistic and achievable setting. So let's go ahead and start a new game. And let's pick the build cat girl simulation. I am using a skin mod to make the machines look a little better, if you ask me. So let's go over this build first. So our species is going to be a machine, and we are going to be well, an anime girl in this case, but a machine anime girl with the traits adaptive frames, waterproof, luxurious, high bandwidth, and conversational AI. This is just our starting traits, and we're going to modify this really quickly, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. And for our cyborg species, we want to have cybernetic, inorganic breath, scintillating skin, unruly and natural engineers, and repugnant. These traits are only selectable on the lithoid species, so you will need to select the lithoid species. Once again, I'm using a mod, so I can select any species portrait with any different species type, which I think is nice. We're going to start on soul system. This is extremely important. Without soul, this build does not work. For origin, we are going to need the arc welder's origin, and as a little tip, if you select the origin page and then go back to your home world, it's going to reset it off soul. So if you ever click the origin page, you have to come back to starting solar system here and change this back to soul, and with ocean planet type, because we are waterproof indeed. And of course, with Genesis Architects and Driven Assimilator will be permanent, but Genesis Architects we will swap out later on in order to maximize our thing. Any ship set. Starting ruler, I like to go with a charismatic scientist. Alternatively, you can go with a charismatic what's it called? Commander, if you more value that. The reason for charismatic is we want enough edict fund to run a minimum of capacity subsidies, and that's it. So let's go ahead and get started with this build. I've spent a good amount of time now breaking down the save games of our friend Pax there, and I can show you guys what I believe to be the kind of ideal build order for this build. Well, the first thing we need to do is, of course, scan our guaranteed habitables. The other thing we need to do here is we need to select our starting text. We're going to go with tech output here. For society tree, if you see uniform data standards or hydroponics farming base, this is usually worth clicking. And if you see anything else here, literally do not select a society tech. The ways tech works in Stellaris is when you do not select a technology, your technology goes into kind of a buffer, which can then be spent later at twice the rate of your actual tech. So you can kind of build up tech and rush down a certain tech you need if you know you're going to want to research something later. The reason we want to save society tech is we want to research uplifting tech, which we get access to as soon as we build our first planet with the Genesis Architects Civic. Now, of course, the engineering tech, we just want to get that out of the way. That's not too important. The other thing we need to do is we need to go into our species, and DA Arc Welder starts with the very nice benefit of being able to modify your pops right away, and we're going to want to create 4 species here. So the first one is going to be what we're going to be building on our capital, and this is kind of a pop that's maximized for assembly and alloys. As you can see, we're going to get plus 20% fabricator output and plus 10% jobs output, for a total of plus 30% for alloys. And how are we doing this? Well, that is why we took our pop traits that gave us lithoid traits that gave us rare crystals and exotic gases, if you remember. And this is going to be absolutely perfect for our homeworld. So we're going to create that template. We're going to go to our homeworld, and we're going to immediately select this, and notice how our pop growth goes from 3 to 3.5. This is from adding that assembly trait. Then the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to create 3 more templates, and these are going to be general templates for our other planets. Now, it's a bit too difficult to micromanage exactly what you want on each planet, so instead we're just going to select mass produce and exotic gases, and we're going to name this after the planet type we want, so W for wet, and then we're going to create a template, and then we're going to modify this template for cold, and remember to click template, not modify template, as otherwise you might get annoyed, and dry respectively. So now we have a species that is kind of optimized for every climate type, for every planet we find. And finding many, many planets is going to be extremely important for this build, as we need many, many planets. Ideally, we want at least probably at least 7. But if we have less, we can still manage. We'll be considerably weaker than if we had more. And the reason is, look at our Unity output. It's 10. That is almost nothing. What that means is basically our entire Unity income will be derived from the Genesis Architects Civic, which gives us Unity for colonizing and then uplifting pops on each planet we colonize. So yeah, with that in mind, just be prepared for the fact that our base Unity is going to be really bad. Let's take this mining station here because it's a really good one. And yeah, basically, the build order for our capital, what we're going to do is we're going to do Industrial District, Research Lab, into Nexus District, into Research Lab, into another Industrial District. I believe this is the best build order. It is what packs it, and I've tested this build probably 4 or 5 times now, and although I have never achieved the numbers that Pax has, because he's just a significantly better player than almost anybody else in the Stellaris community, we still managed to get the best results by building 2 colony ships before we build our first arc furnace upgrade. And this arc furnace is really the kind of the core of what gives this build so much power, is that by building up an arc furnace so early, we have free alloys and minerals, so we only have to build jobs that give technology and energy, and we're not even going to build any jobs that give Unity, as Unity is not actually useful when produced by these terrible jobs that produce like 5, or even with the Edict active like 7 or 8 Unity. That's just not great, right? It's going to be a lot more efficient for us to get Unity from colonizing these planets. And once we finish 3 tradition trees, we basically produce very little Unity. The only Unity we're going to be getting is going to be from jobs that produce something else on the side, like amenities with the simulation chambers and stuff like that. So yeah, this build is going to have weak Unity overall, but we're still going to be able to finish our 3 tradition trees in order to ascend whenever we can. Now, what do we need to watch out for here? So first of all, we need the Industrial District. Before we finish Industrial District, I recommend keeping the government on balanced production and only swapping this over to manufacturing once this Industrial District is done, is because right now we don't have many specialists compared to menial drones, so it's not really worth swapping that over yet. The other thing to keep in mind is you can go isolationist here, but since we're producing 10 Unity, that's going to like 16 Unity, we're going to get 1.7 Unity from isolationist. So expansionist, giving us plus 15% colony development speed, might actually be more important here, so we can get our Genesis uplift done sooner than later. Which is really kind of where the power of this build comes in, is our ability to make Unity from uplifting. And then swap out of that into a more useful Civic for late game. Anyhow, let's go ahead and kind of see if we can find some more planets here, as we're going to need a few more planets than what we have currently. Do keep in mind that one of the large benefits of playing as an Assimilator and as a Gestalt is look at our monthly influence. It's 1 higher than Bio. This is really, really powerful, as we can forward settle planets when we find them to save on alloys, and and that's of course really good. Yeah, and we need to look for more planets here. The reason I'm not scanning these three systems as this system is my Sirius, so there's a planet on this system, and once I build the starbase here, I'll naturally get scanner input of these two systems, so I don't have to explore them with my military ship here. A little bit of an exploration detail. We will ward off those who threaten us. One thing I did forget to check is if any of these are pre-FTLs, and they aren't. If they are pre-FTLs, they are super powerful. It's almost to the point where I'm not sure if it's worth taking them in a video like this, as it'll really skew what you can do. Another thing, I'm going to pause for this, is here's some micro details on how you can manage your planets easier. Is planetary automation is known for not being fantastic, but actually having its uses. And one of those things you can do is turn it on just for deviancy. Some people like to turn on for amenities. I don't like this. It puts too many amenities. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shift click on every single one of these settings. And this means every time we toggle this on a new colony, these will be the settings that planetary automation uses with just deviancy on. In addition, let's say later on I do want the planet to manage amenities, all the planets, I'll just go into planetary automation, then I'll control click on amenities, and every single planet will adopt these settings. So that's a little bit of thing. It could be a little bit finicky. It took me a long time to figure out exactly why it was or wasn't working sometimes. So do keep that in mind. Also, it's important to build your two best mining stations you find near your home planet as soon as possible. And then we won't be focusing on upgrading too many mining stations until we have a better economy and this arc furnace upgrade is starting. So let's go ahead and look at this planet. One thing we're going to want to do kind of right away is start queuing up more things, just so in case we stop paying attention to this, it's always building something. It's generally a good idea that you want all your planets building constantly with absolutely no breaks. I did forget to start a colony ship. Always pick your cybernetic species and not your main species, so you can get the biopop growth naturally. It's only 1.1, but hey, it does add up on every single new colony you make. So do keep that in mind. And also, I did say we were going to go over to manufacturing focus as soon as these complex drone jobs were made, and we can see that our basic economy is going to take a little bit of a hit, but that's okay. It's not too big of a deal. So we're going to go over and go colonize Alpha Centauri as well. Only 3 energy districts. Since I don't have the scan speed to scan faster, right? I don't really know whether I should be scanning this Tundra world or Sirius first, so we're just going to scan Sirius first. The reason I knew this was my Sirius is take a look at these systems. Alpha Centauri is always a trinary, and Sirius is always a binary, and these are always the systems you have your planets on when you play with Soulstart. Okay, here's an interesting one. We have feedback loop on this cognitive node already and amplified subprocesses. So I'm going to take amplified subprocesses, even though feedback loop is a better. Oh, this one's tough too. Do I need a third amplified subprocesses? Sure, why not? I guess. This is probably a bit too much edict fund actually. But since this already has a feedback loop, next time this upgrades, we can get another feedback loop. Feedback loop is generally, I would consider it the best gestalt like trait you can pick on your notes. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind there. And let's go ahead and clear this garbage patch here. And for our main species, we might go Spark of Genius here, since we have so many amplified subprocesses already. And we're going to take prefabricated buildings as our traditions. Our next tradition tree, we will take Discovery, the first opener, and this thing right here before we start our Arc Furnace upgrade. This means our Arc Furnace upgrade is going to be, I guess you could say, relatively late. But we really do need planets. Otherwise, our tech is going to fall extremely far behind. So we need to rush out as many planets as we can. I've tried rushing the Arc Furnace upgrade instead, and what you end up with is you don't have enough basic economy, like energy credits, and tech to support the alloy and mineral income, so it's not that useful. Anyhow, let's start this colony ship right away. Our first planet is going to be dedicated mostly to energy before we start filling up the building slots. It feels kind of bad because we do want to be building tech if possible, but the basic economy just cannot support itself. We get another feedback loop, which is great. And here, it's not too important. I guess war algorithms is a nice little touch. And we can continue to explore out into the galaxy. As you can see, we are getting a good, healthy number of planets, which is really nice to see. And we're also going to build this mining station here. Yeah, we do want to get those. Oh, reclamation unit is extremely nice, as this means we don't have to focus on fabricator districts as much in our capital, which is really, really nice actually, because this is going to speed up our colony ships and stuff a lot. Just that little bit of extra unity. So let's try to get our second Genesis arc now. Let's get it started. By the time it's done, this should be finished scanning. We can also start this research station, which is really, really nice. Yeah, as you can see, despite the basic economy of this build being relatively poor, plus just almost 0 energy credits, also we don't want to make first contact if possible, as most of the galaxy will be really mad at us. And when just practicing this build, that's not really what you want, right? You want the AI to not murder you instantly. And also the other thing you've noticed, I haven't built any additional science or construction ships. We're going to have to manage with just the 2, as we do need to save our alloys to eventually start this this upgrade, right? So anyhow, with that in mind, let's get ready to start our next research lab. Did we just finish a district? Are we getting the bug? Yeah. Sometimes this tends to happen when you're playing just I genuinely don't know how to fix it, which is you finish a Nexus district or something like that, and you don't get the building slot right away. It's just like bugged. It's like waiting for an update or something. And yeah, this is a really, really annoying thing, as it wastes a lot of time. It can take up to like 100 days before it updates, which is really, really stupid. So yeah, I have no idea how to force it to update. Usually what I do, don't have enough resources here, is I just start something else that's useful, as to not waste time. If anyone knows how to fix this bug, please let me know. Or at least stop it from happening. It happens whether I'm modded or unmodded, so I don't think it's related to the fact that I have these portraits. Another thing we're going to do here is we're going to take map the stars here. We can also turn on fortify the border, but I'm not rushing out star bases. I think it might be oh, we get hydroponics here. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Do I take hydroponics and slow down my Genesis? I think at this point I don't. I've already done 1 tech, which is quite greedy, so I'm not going to do the second one. So yeah, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to do hydroponics after Genesis, I guess. And there, now we got our building slot. You know, it's really strange, right? Like, and then after this, it's going to be industrial district. And now that I've built up some energy credits, we can go ahead and resume our mineral buy. And let's also start moving this over. I should have started doing that sooner, as we want to get this colony ship going right away. Let's go ahead and build this mining station, because it's a single mining station, so that's actually a pretty good deal. And then we can go to our home capital and build this tech mining station, as we do want to maximize our tech. And now our next upgrade is probably going to be this arc furnace. We do want to grab research path optimization as well. But because it will affect these next tech rolls, so it might be a good idea to do that. So yeah, calling development speed is actually really good, because we're going to be making so many. So let's actually just take that. Let's also see what other options we have. Nothing better, I would say. So let's go ahead and start that. And now we really do need to start saving up our Unity, as we might even have to wait for this second colony ship to finish before we have enough Unity to start our arc furnace upgrade, which is okay because we can also just rush out more colony ships in the meantime as well. It will mean our basic economy will get really, really bad if we do that. And we're going to take mining station output here, right? As our economy is very mining station focused, so let's go ahead and do that. I think you can arguably even do a fourth colony ship before starting your arc furnace upgrade. I do have it noted that you should start your arc furnace upgrade year 6 to 7. Right, so we still have some time before that. Although our, what's it called? We can have some resources that are really sketchy. But let's do it anyway. Let's do a fourth colony ship. Let's try to get a fourth colony, yeah. And this is a great energy planet, actually, so, yeah. The thing with these ocean planets, they only have 3 energy districts, but we are a machine, which means when we build a generator upgrade plant, it's going to add 2 energy districts, and then when you upgrade it again, it'll add 2 more, so 3 is like a minimum of like 7 energy districts, which actually isn't a terrible energy planet. It's not good, but we don't have to go too vertical with it. So, but yeah, basically at the end of the game, anyways, all our planets are going to be covered with all the buildings, and then any extra districts will just be energy plants. So yeah, it's a pretty simple life out there, I guess. And we do want to prioritize this job. We don't want to prioritize maintenance drones. Little bit of a mistake there. And yeah, now we're definitely not going to spend any more alloys or Unity until we can start focusing on our arc furnace. As I think starting at year 8 might be a bit too late. I have it in my Google Docs somewhere. Let me see. First arc, year 7, second, year 12, and the last one, year 15, should be the kind of goal dates that I have noted down. So yeah, I guess we're still not too behind. Though I don't think I'll be able to start it by the year 7, so yeah, I guess we messed up somewhere. But yeah, we're just short a little bit of Unity to start it, but we're not that far away, so. Here we're going to build a machine assembly plant immediately, and a Nexus district. I think, is there a... Yeah, I don't think Gestalt has a single designation that helps you build machine districts faster, which means, in my experience, the best designation is research district and not machine district, because the upkeep actually matters a little bit more than the 5% complex drone output. That's kind of just my idea. I think I'm going to go efficient builder here. Planetary build speed is so important with this build, as with every build, in fairness. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep buying minerals. This is where our basic economy is going to get really bad. Right, and it's going to be really bad because we spent so much of our economy on colony ships and not the arc furnace, which is what gives us good economy, right? So, got to be a little bit careful of that. Automated repair systems is great. I love it. That means you don't have to send our ships later on back and forth. And I don't know if I'll be able to get this planet. So let's start exploring. There's a black hole there. There's probably nothing there. Let's start exploring in this direction. How many planets do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me just make sure I selected colonize here. Yeah, it already is. Okay, nice. Should I take this mining station? 1 energy for 1 alloy. I guess that's worth it. And yeah, that's good. We're almost there. We need like a few more months of Unity. Yeah, once again, I think I should not have taken this tradition first, unless I had slightly better from Unity. Maybe if I went isolationist, at the beginning, then the correct thing to do would be to take this tradition here and then start the arc furnace. But this way it does seem a little bit late. But that's okay. Let's just be ready for the next one. Which means we will have to build up a little bit of extra alloys and stuff, which is a bit unfortunate. But I will say hitting the correct amount of alloys and unity within 2 months is still pretty good. Um, so we'll take that. That's kind of the difficult part of this build, is you want to greed the amount of colony ships you're making at all times, because colony ships are just so important. And still hit the exact amount of unity and alloys you need to upgrade the furnace whenever you can. But yeah, here we go. We got 3 colonies going up. We got our capital here, which is basically done building. I mean, we still need to get rid of this agriculture district. We need to get rid of this uplink node now, as we really don't need the... Actually, we can get rid of this uplink node after the agenda expires. Right, because right now we have this unity boosting agenda, so it feels a little inefficient to get rid of that. But yeah, as soon as that's over, we can go ahead and get rid of that. And on our first planet, oh, run. Okay, we're pretty safe for now. A relic world here. Okay, a relic world is amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this scan the rest of that, and then we're going to go straight to scan the relic world, as that can really break our unity or our tech income in a good way, like by massively giving us a lot more tech than we might normally have access to, which is generally really good. And let's go ahead and just start building a generator. We will need... Oh, I forgot to select the species type. We do want to be assembly the W mates on this planet and not the S. The S is just for alloys. I don't know why I called it S if it's for alloys, but... yeah, that's just silly me. And we do want to actually take some traditions as well. Specifically want to get at least this complex drone output, as we're going to have a lot of colonies finishing soon, right? So that's going to give us another boost in in Unity. Yeah, like as you can see, our basic income is too bad to build more tech here, so we're not going to do that. And do we have capacity subsidies yet? No, not quite. Wait. Was our first... Oh yeah, our first tech wasn't capacity subsidies, and our second wasn't either. That is quite unlucky. That means our economy is going to be a lot worse than normal. So do keep that in mind. We do need to survey this system, because this is our second guaranteed arc. If you take a look at this tooltip here, there's arc furnace deposit sites 21. Another system might have less, like this one has 2, so we obviously don't want to do that. We want to find the 21s and the 16s and the 19s to build our arc furnaces on, as we do want to get 4 arc furnaces by year 35, which is quite difficult. They don't have to be fully operational, the 2 other ones, because we simply won't have enough unity. But if we can get them started and that kind of thing, that's pretty good. Yeah, so here we want to prioritize this. We want to not work maintenance drones, not work hunter-seeker drones. Same with this, no hunter-seeker drones, no maintenance drones. Having them unemployed is slightly cheaper, so it's still worth it. And I completely forgot to start this tech. Luckily, we'll be cashing in our saved up tech, so like this research speed will be quite a bit faster. Don't have to worry too much about that slowing us down. And we can also start our 5th Genesis ship, or 4th, I guess. As I think we'll have enough alloys. Ooh, no. 500 days. It's like 10 months. I don't know, I think we will. I think we need $1,500 for the next upgrade. We'll be a little short on Unity, if anything. And on this planet, we can't really afford it. Our main goal is going to be to build as many... yeah, we really can't afford it, jeez. Is to build as many tech districts as possible. But yeah, with this economy, oof, not promising. Let's max out our mineral buy. I don't think we'll need energy soon, because we did start that next arc already. I don't know why I built an extra building slot here. That's a bit of a mistake if we're going to turn that into an energy planet. And we don't have the energy grid. And we're finally researching it now. So third roll energy grid is quite unlucky. It's one of the reasons. If we got first roll energy grid right, we would have like a little more minerals, like because we'd be buying 40 minerals at all times, and I would be like plus like 30 energy instead of what we are now. Yeah, this means it's gonna be really, really tight to to get all these buildings up and running. We are getting, some more maintenance drones. Like they make like 15 or something ridiculous with the energy grid up. So we are losing a pretty insane amount by not having that. And there we go. Can we take peak performance here? It's like, do I trust myself to still have 2,000 unity when that is done? Let me think. 799. I think we'll be really close. So let's take this for the plus 5% complex drone output. And then let's start this. This still has 2 jobs available. Oh, we have 2 maintenance drones here, so we should actually move 1 drone over to immediately start making more energy. And that will make sure our buy never cancels at least, so that's something. And let's just deprioritize these as well. Let's leave 1 for now, as that might as well improve the stability a bit. Spark of Genius is good here. We're making 125 tech. It's not bad. I've never really known the best thing to do about this NEMA chain. Ooh, mushroom picking is nice. That will give us a little boost in... Let me see if this is a pre-FTL relic world as well, or just a regular relic. Just a regular relic world, so that's going to be our next target. Ooh, we're a bit short on alloys, so I guess we were a bit greedy here with this planet. Yes, we only have 1,000 alloys. We need 1,500. But I did have my next arc furnace upgrade marked in as year 12, so I guess it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and deprioritize this and deprioritize this as well. Yeah, as you can see, we are having some issues employing our pops. If we ever do have this issue, what we can do is, instead of building a generator or something, we can just build a generator district directly, right? And this will be a little bit cheaper to build than other buildings, so, and it'll still help our economy. We can turn this into a generator world as well. And yeah, now we can just chill here and kind of wait. Yeah, as you can see, the next arc furnace, we're missing 300 unity and 200 alloys, so we are short on unity. Maybe we shouldn't have taken the generator there. And one thing we do need to do is we need to start building all these other mining systems, because they're just not enough minerals at this point. Let's actually start with the closest one. Yeah, and as you can tell, our basic economy is absolutely horrible. This is very much a result of not rolling capacity subsidies in time. If you have another source of energy credits, a player to trade with, it can really, really change the game, as you don't have to focus so much on energy. And yeah, energy is, as you can see, a really, really big problem for this build. Finding the voice is active. That will help us with our unity just a little bit. And favorite society. This will help us with our general resources quite a bit as well. I think I want to build this first, but like, man, the minerals situation is not great. Mineral, and yeah, you can see the basic economy is a bit of a handful. Definitely is. It definitely is. And yeah, once again, I also forgot to select the right kind of pop. It's supposed to be a W pop. Just delay that a bit. It's fine. Yeah, here we're getting another drone here making that. So you know we're getting there. Yeah, we're building individual mining stations. This know how this is when you know your economy is really really bad. 42 unity. So in one click we'll be able to do this. There we go. We started at year 11, which is not bad. Just not bad at all. Once again, we're just kind of paying the penalty of not having rolled capacity subsidies, which is really unfortunate, but what can you do? What can you do? And we do get mining station output plus 10%. I think we're going to go with build speed. Might be greedy compared to this. But let's go with build speed. And now we have epigenetic uplift tech. And what we can do with this uplift tech is what we're going to do is we're going to just immediately start uplifting pops. So conserve farmer and dairy, we're going to do our capital first. And we're just going to start knocking these out. These will give us huge inputs of unity. And of course unity is going to help us do everything we kind of need to do. So yeah, that's really good. Let's also clear this sprawling slum. This will give us one pop. They'll have nothing to do when they spawn in. Yeah, we're not really able to keep up with our pop growth right now. Is one thing you've probably noticed. Yeah, that's just an unfortunate side effect, I would say, of what's called having a really, really poor economy. And let's continue. This is a lot of feedback loops, though. I'm happy about that. Now, I have marked that at year 12, you're supposed to have 154 tech, and we have just exactly hit that. So I'm pretty happy about that. We do have the 7 fabricator jobs, you know, producing a good amount of alloys still. I'm wondering if I should go for this. I think I'll save alloys for the next arc furnace upgrade immediately this time, and then take this, and this will be a great source of tech, basically. Let's go over that there and just take this now, as I'm not exactly sure if there's somebody nearby who's gonna try to take that. And let's just randomly forward settle all these planets as well. Once again, our influence is so good we don't have to worry about forward settling or that kind of thing. Here we're gonna take efficiency algorithms and this. We're gonna finish off prosperity and take tech ascendancy. Once again, our tech needs all the help it can get. This is also when I'm gonna start my second construction ship. This will just be around to start building arc furnaces, and this will be around to start taking the systems that we really want. Oh my god, there's 3 drones here and they're all employed already. I guess we'll make this another generator world. Let's just buy some extra minerals and start that up. And this will make this assemble the cold pops, and this is why we have this is also cold, so cold assembly. I think the game already automatically does it, but I want to lock that in just in case. Yeah, and as you can see, despite the terrible economy, things are okay. Things are absolutely a-okay right now. And I do want to build another Nexus district for another tech lab, but I mean, how can we? I think I definitely have to build at least one less colony ship in the future when I don't hit capacity subsidies, but once again, I am not well practiced in this build enough to say everything is being done optimally. This is just a good enough approximation so that if you do the same in your games, especially casual games or PvE games, you're definitely going to have a fun time. With capacity subsidies, let's take a look at this. This should immediately jump quite a bit. Yeah, plus 57 energy credits, right? So we're no longer completely cooked, basically. Yeah, so that's really, really nice. Another thing we need to do is, well, we need to build the energy grid here, and we need to build a Nexus. There's so many things we need to build. Another reclamation unit. This is going to completely nuke our minerals income, but we can just buy some minerals like this as we have good energy input now. Yeah, how's this doing? 300 days left. So we will have to wait for this to finish, 12 months. In 12 months, that's going to give us a huge unity injection, which will let us kind of do that really well. I do want to build a Nexus District on my capital as well. Let's just keep this going. We want to keep building these mining stations, as these mining stations will start to produce alloys very soon. Of course, we can actually just leave this on automation at this point. I think it's not worth microing that anymore. So yeah, we definitely want to finish that in time. We're gonna need 2,000 alloys for this last upgrade, so it's a little bit expensive, but the arc furnace itself will start to produce alloys, so it won't be too bad. And yeah, it feels weird buying so many minerals when later on energy is going to be our biggest problem. But once again, when we have capacity subsidies and we don't have mineral subsidies, it's better to produce energy and to buy minerals at a higher price than it is to produce minerals. Yeah, like our mineral job will probably make like 8 minerals or 7, right? And our technician makes 15. And that's without even having the building. I think with the building, it'll be like 19, I want to say, something like that. So we should definitely build this as soon as we can. Although I want to make this one of my main energy worlds, right, as it has the most energy districts. So, yeah, these worlds we can move to a more technology focus. We can also just leave the worlds on an energy focus and build technology on them, and we really do need more tech now. But yes, this is the challenges that we do deal with. And once again, we can also like shuffle the pops around, right? So as soon as this should be a research district, shouldn't it? Tech world, yeah. And this is going well. So our arc furnace is upgraded again. That's jumped our mineral income. It is finally not terrible. We have some dairies now. So yeah, that's good. And get some more research labs going. Yeah, these 2 planets are going to need some desperate help soon as well. But yeah, we're making 77 alloys now, year 15. Like, it's not bad at all. In a couple turns, we'll be able to start this. We're also going to want to start our next pop. So what are these? Hisama, uplift those. Yeah, and this is when this build really starts to start humming, I would say, as we can just focus a lot on energy and tech at this point. Now we do have some spare energy credits, so I will build a research lab here. It feels bad kind of having these planets like fully mixed in between tech and energy, but at least this one can be fully energy, I would say. So let's get ready to do that, I guess. Yeah, these are under assimilation, so they're not gonna need jobs immediately. But yeah, at this point, now we just need to start hard focusing on tech. Yeah, these will also just continue to boost our income. As how much are they producing now? 6 and 2 alloys, very, very nice. So we'll increase like 50% again once this arc furnace is done. And this also means we should probably start to get ready for our next arc furnace, which is going to be here, and a colony ship for here, so we can actually have enough tech. And we do hit a, is that a pre-FDL here? Oh, I never checked it. Yeah, I'm not going to take this. This is 22 pops. 22 pops is an amount where if you don't find something with 22 pops in your game, it's just not really feeling like the same build. As with 22 pops, right, I can just immediately fill this planet with energy districts. Probably takes like 2 years to build up, right? And then that energy is just not a problem anymore, which is very unrealistic for this build because energy is always a problem with this build. Anyhow, I do have 700. Um, do have 700, what's it called? Minerals. So it is time to, continuously upgrade all these buildings. Make sure they are making good amount of tech. I should be migrating my cybernetic species as they're going to be a little bit better, but I kind of forgot there. This will be the planet that I focus most on energy, so I'm going to build the energy plant on this planet. I'm not going to bother with the energy plant on my capital. If I had rolled the energy plant early, I would, because, well, most energy workers are on my capital, but I want to move those off eventually to make room for alloys on my capital, so, yeah. And one thing we probably want to do is we want to lay off on the mineral buy just a little bit here, as we do want to build up a bit of an energy buffer, as having this little energy is really risky. It's really easy to accidentally go below 0 and then lose a whole bunch of resources for that, so let's not do that. 203 tech now, not great. Our goal is about 300 by year 20. It does not look easy right now, but I assure you it is possible when things go right. Do we ever build the colony ship? Oh yeah, it's being built right now. Okay. And yeah, get ready for this research lab. Yeah, and as you can see, once again, like, even now that we have 83 alloys, the economy doesn't feel great, even though it's fine, right? Like, and we had a little bit of a mishap, a little bit of a real life interruption, and an asteroid just hit one of my planets. So I'm just gonna go and load a game from a little bit ago where I can go mitigate that, because I am yapping my ass off here. So yeah, I'm not noticing kind of things I should be noticing as much. Hopefully 2 Corvettes is enough. I'm not sure if it is. We'll find out, I guess. We will definitely find out. Let's move cat girls over, as cat girls have higher tech output. So let's go do that again. 700. So let's do this. Let's do this. And we need to start a Nexus district here before this fills up. Oh, we need to start. Yeah, as you can see, it's just a... Okay, so a little bit of a rollback here is we did not notice this asteroid in the live recording, and it ends up killing 4 pops. So let's go ahead and kill that. Obviously, in a multiplayer game, you can't just roll back time and go fix your mistakes, but I am yapping a lot trying to explain every action I'm taking. I think realistically, it's much easier to notice this kind of thing when you are not focusing so hard on commentating. So yeah, we have to save up for this arc furnace again. So let's go ahead and get ready for that. And take the mineral tech again. The weird thing is the tech is actually random, so I could have gotten a completely different tech, but I actually got the exact same one, which is pretty interesting. We definitely need another technology lab here as well. 300 more minerals. I think I'm just gonna burn some food for some minerals, as I don't want to wait. Yeah, this pop is gonna finish soon too, so this needs an energy district. This still needs a another complex drone for that kind of production. So yeah, there we go. We can start the arc furnace upgrade now as well. And let's see how this asteroid is doing. Yeah, it's super bad to not kill these asteroids in time. It's really annoying when the planet is kind of out of range of the mining station, or the station, especially when you don't have it as a starport. When it's a starport, the range is quite a bit better. One thing you can do if you don't have Corvettes nearby is you can upgrade Starbase to have a target uplink computer. This boosts the range of weapons by 50% on your starbase, which means your starbase is usually able to target on almost anything but like the most extreme asteroid events, where they're just at like the very edge of the system, and like well, those are just annoying anyway. So yeah, let's go ahead and make sure we are building more labs. We're going to replace this uplink node very soon, especially as finding the voice dwindles down. As soon as it's done, we want to get rid of Get rid of that, basically. As, yeah, we're definitely not going to be producing our Unity like this by having a plus Unity number most of the time. Most of our Unity is going to be made through the kind of... Did I buy food? Oh, okay, I'll just sell alloys then. Goodbye, some alloys. Hello, colony ship. I meant to sell food, but whatever. Not a big deal. We should definitely have enough alloys to upgrade this with plus 82 alloys. This is the last upgrade for this. What am I talking about? Let's also go ahead and make another construction ship to get ready for our next arc furnace system. Let's also take a look at any of these new systems. There's a 15, there's a 12, there's a 4. I think there was a 14 over here somewhere. 14, yeah, it's quite far away. I guess we could use that. Oh, there's a 16 right here. Okay, that's way better. So let's get the 16 surveyed, and let's get the 15. Optimally, you find another 19 or 20 is just kind of rare. And that was a great asteroid. Holy. That will help us get all these planets fixed up as soon as possible, which is really nice. Why is our tech still so bad? Crazy. I think we want another industrial district, actually. So let's do that. Another industrial district. Boom. There we go. And this little energy upgrade here always helps. I think this is also the point in the game where it would be definitely a really good idea to start building star bases just to put solar panels on them. So I think let's start doing that as well. Yeah, one thing you do want to do is you want to build these solar panel star bases over your arc systems, as in the future we're going to be taking astro mining drones and we're going to be boosting the output of those solar panels with a certain starbase building. I forget what it's called. It's from Astro Mining Drone Civic. And yeah, for that, of course, we're going to need... Oh, Mysterious Labyrinth is really good. So we send a team to investigate, right? And basically, you just immediately want to destroy it. As when you destroy it, you'll get a huge influx of rare resources that can really make your game much nicer. Excuse me there. A little bit of a dry throat after talking so much. I don't usually talk this much in a day, so... Yep. Here we could take more tech, but I think realistically the best thing to do is to start uplifting another pop, which I should have been doing already, but I probably forgot. Labyrinth must be destroyed. It does cost 10 energy, not a huge deal. I don't think we're wasting too many pops right now. We are. We definitely are. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade. Oh, these two pops just finish at exactly the same time. That's pretty funny. This can be a research lab, and yeah, as you can see, our economy is kind of coming alive now. It's coming alive. We're up to 216 tech, which is not bad. We definitely do want way more though. So, also this pre-FTL, I didn't mention it. I did see it. I don't want to take it. I think it was 24 pre-FTL pops on this planet, or 22. SDA taking pre-FTL pops is extremely beneficial, as you can start assimilating them into your main species immediately, or into your your cybernetic species. And it's just super powerful. If you don't hit one, you won't be able to play in nearly the same way as when you do have access to pre-FTLs. So I'm not going to take it, as it's, in my opinion, like an unrelatable thing to have pre-FTLs to take. So I'm not going to do that. Also, how much longer does Finding the Voice have? 3.7 years. As that gets closer to winding down, I'm going to look to replace this uplink node, as uplink nodes are just pretty useless. 9.2 Unity with plus 40% from it, right? So without that plus 40%, it's pretty bad. Like 6-7 Unity, something like that. And keep in mind that the bonuses in Stellaris are a little funky. Just because it says plus 40% doesn't mean it gives plus 40%. because all the plus percents are additive, right? So you get a bunch of plus percents. If you already have plus 30%, it's not going to be the same exactly. I explained that terribly, but hopefully you get what I mean. Well, my voice is drying out real quick. Let's also go ahead and start this next arc furnace now, as this one is almost done. And we always want arc furnaces upgrading, don't we? We also want to start finishing tradition trees now, as we're starting to pump out a good amount of unity. We also do want to move most of our energy drones over to this tundra world when we can, as it does have the best energy districts available to us, basically. Ooh, crystals or gas? I think it's usually gases first. The main reason for gases first is our gas. Actually, it's just not a problem. It's just not a problem, isn't it, with the labyrinth? Also, not really relatable. I mean, if we didn't have the labyrinth, we'd have to research that and build one, right? So we can skip it and we can go straight for military, which is nice. Which is really nice, actually. Once again, need some drinks of water. We start building solar panels. Let's go ahead and build a star base here to cover this with solar panels as well. We'll just max out our star base cap. When that goes up over time, we'll also increase the amount of things we're doing. One thing I want to do here is you can actually clear blockers when something is upgrading. So we don't need this many alloys now. We're making this many. We can sell a bunch, and we can clear this collapse spire as this is building. And this is going to be just an amazing tech planet. Keep in mind, because I have this planet and you guys might not, my tech numbers past year, like past when that colonizes, is going to be higher than what would normally be achievable. As well, I can just like move all the tech drones and stuff to that planet, and it's going to be a great time. As you can see, we're making 150. 150 alloys now as well, which is really, really good. Also, we do want to probably take this as well. How many plants do we have? Not the most, actually. Like 7. Which is like the minimum, I would say, for a happy arc furnace player. I do want some more. I do definitely want some more, but I don't know if we'll be able to get it, so yeah, a little bit of poor exploring on my hand. If I had, oh yeah, it's because I had to send my construction ship back, so, or my exploring ship back, and I forgot to move it back out because I'm not a very good player. Anyhow, let's focus on complex drones a little bit more. There we go, over here. Genesis uplift, very nice. UV laser, we don't really want UV laser. These are all mediocre. We could do this just as it's the cheapest tech, but I'll probably do cold fusion reactor because it's actually a useful technology. Here we get destroyers. I'm just going to take it when we can. This means we could get cruisers for year 30. I will say that getting cruisers year 30 with this build is relatively unreliable. I would say it's only highly realistic if you have like 9 planets, and one of them has pre-FTLs or something that boosts technology, like Wankwort or a Relic World, or you're just extremely good at the game. I'm sure that works as well. But that's slightly unrelatable. So yeah, let's see. Is this arc furnace done? Yeah, this first arc furnace is done. Start on the second one. We should take this size 16 arc furnace spot and start building that up immediately. Also, we can go ahead and start doing some of these traditions. I completely forgot. This will lower our tech drone upkeep too, so that's like 20 energy credits. It makes a difference. It definitely does make a difference. And yeah, just continuously uplifting these pops is stunting our society tech, but society has always been the least impactful tech. I would definitely describe it that way. So using it to do something impactful, like create a really good amount of pops, is really, really good. I would definitely say. Um, so one thing I would say here is it's now year 20. We can now reform our government. If you have a trade federation or a player who wants to trade minerals or alloys for energy, which we don't, we're playing single player, reform immediately into astro mining drones. This will increase your starbase output by 50%. That means this system will be making something like, I believe, 160 alloys from one arc furnace. We're going to do this anyway at some point, but it will really make our energy income hard to sustain. Um, so I normally like to do it before researching the society tech that lets you reform immediately again. But let's just do it. Actually, no, we haven't finished our uplifts. So we always have to finish our uplifts first. I forgot. My apologies. And there is another planet here, which is really nice. Right, so we do need to finish our uplifts before we do anything too crazy. Let's also go ahead and take our next ascension perk, which is going to be Necromancy. This is basically solely for the large slot weapon damage, which is kind of a PvP kind of pick. But we are kind of pretending like we were going to be playing PvP, right? So let's build a Nexus district here and a machine assembly plant, and literally just move over a bunch of pops. Let's move over a cat girl or two. Is there any pops that aren't doing something we really need? Let's move over another cat girl. Let's move over the calculators on this planet, as they might be more efficient on this relic world here, because this relic world does give really big tech bonuses. Right, so we're making 405 tech now. We are losing a little bit of energy, but we'll figure it out. Let's get ion thrusters so our ships aren't hilariously slow, and continue on. Yeah, we do need to focus on this energy situation a little bit. So, one thing I want to do, I guess, is we need to move. Oh, this is poorly planned. So, my main species has reduced habitability on my main generator world. So I can't just move my capital pops over. I need to make one of these worlds into another main generator world. So let's do this one. It has terrible, terrible, what's it called? Energy districts, but hey, what can you do? Also, we need to buy food now, so let's cancel this and buy food, as we're no longer working the food jobs. Oh, why were we working a maintenance drone? Maintenance drone, go away. Do I really need to force reduce that? Let's make this 9, get 1 food job. So yeah, this will be another main generator world. It's already a designated generator world, I guess. So yeah, let's put an energy grid on there, and we can start moving some of our capital pops over. And yes, solar panels will be necessary. So yeah, now we're making 424 tech. We would not be making 424 tech without this relic world, right? So do keep that in mind. Is don't expect this same level of technology if you don't hit something like this. I probably shouldn't have taken it, but I do need more worlds. So at some point, I just gotta take the worlds I do get. Let's go ahead and uplift this relic world species as well. Let's get some more more tech, bro. More tech. We love tech. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, everything's going all right. Everything's going all right. That's for sure. And here we get Starhold, which is going to be quite important. And I think we're not buying minerals at all, and we're still kind of losing a little bit of energy credits. One thing we're going to need to start doing soon is we're going to need to start selling alloys and such. It does feel bad, but it is how it is. And let's also start on this 3rd arc furnace. I think we can definitely afford doing 2 at once now. And in just a few years' time, we're also going to have to start to think about what are we going to do for year 30 peace timer. Will we be doing cruisers? Will we be doing destroyers? probably destroyers, but if we could get cruisers, that'd be amazing. Okay, now keep in mind, if you're playing single player or multiplayer where disruptors aren't banned, disruptors are the best weapon type. It's not close. Build disruptors. Um, all disruptors on your ship. Don't think about it. Medium, medium, medium across the board. Um, all disruptors. However, if disruptors are banned, or you want to use something that's less overpowered, plasma and kinetic seem to be the best. They do have weaknesses, like you can get destroyed by torpedoes or something like that. Um, but in general, well, the meta is the meta. Also, why is that marked as a generator world? Come on, game. Let's make this a tech world. Just reduce the upkeep of these. Oh my god, my arc furnace finished. Okay, so now it's time to start selling minerals. Sell 40 minerals. Let's buy 10 food, and let's sell 9 alloys. That seems to be a decent way to maintain my economy. And as you can see also, we're making a really, 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 really broken amount of tech thanks to this relic world. Oh, no. If the next roll isn't a good weapon, it's a bit sketchy. And here we can also start our next tradition tree in supremacy. We don't have to finish it right away, as it doesn't give us any economic bonuses, so we don't lose too much. And one thing I forgot to do is take this planet as well. So let's go ahead and build a Genesis Arc. I think we'll definitely reform our government via technology at this point, instead of just by clicking the reform button. As we still have so many Genesis uplifts we need to do. Still 2 more, and once again, this is basically the only way to get unity on this build is uplifting pops, right? Which is why it's so important to, what am I trying to say? Why it's so important to uplift everything before reforming out of Genesis, as once you're out of Genesis, well, you no longer really have the ability to produce unity in the same way, and you'll get stuck basically exactly where you are on the tradition tree. You'll be there for like decades. So, definitely not ideal. I will say, yeah, this planet does have a little bit of housing issues, as we're getting like 6 free jobs from that collapsed spire. So we do have to make sure we build nexus districts and stuff like that. And yeah, now we're making nearly 500 tech. I would say we'd be making over 100 less without this planet. How much is this planet making? Yeah, about 100, right? So you'd probably be making almost 100 less without it, but not quite, since we would still be building up other planets for technology and that kind of thing. So do keep that in mind. Our star holds will be finishing. Please be cruisers. Please be cruisers. I don't even know if it can be cruisers, but no cruisers. So we're going to take mining station output. Field manipulation. I guess we do need a shield upgrade. Yeah, for that selection, resource optimization plus 2.5% is just fantastic. So let's take that without too much thought. Let's also move our drone workers to the planets with a energy grid, as it's obviously slightly more efficient. So yeah, we're going to want to start to get some of these maids off of the planets without them, and we can start to replace these with industrial districts. I also said I replaced this with a tech lab. I forgot. Though we do want to add a simulation site to this planet at some point, but because it is our capital, the amenities are really good. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Oh, calling it mimic you activity. I hate that one. I think it just lowers your pop assembly speed. I'm not sure if there's a good outcome from it. Yeah, I've played this game so much, I still haven't memorized what all the what all the events do, which is definitely something I should do at some point. But it just doesn't sound that fun, so maybe not. Shields here, or research alternatives. Research alternatives, it's our last chance for a good year 30 tech, basically. I somewhat doubt that we will find one, a good year 30 tech there, but that's fine. What are building? Why is the assembly speed so bad? Oh, mimic you attacks. Okay. Right, this is that planet. Okay. And were we building a Genesis arc here or no? Okay, one thing we need to do now is, I think, seal off our colony here. Is remember to build the solar panels, which I have forgotten for such a long time. Anybody who remembers to do this when they play Gestalt is probably pulling their hair out right now, so I do apologize. um, yeah, I definitely do apologize for that. That's pretty bad. That's a lot of wasted energy credits, and we're making a good amount of energy credits now. Wow. Um, I'm really tempted to do the uplifts. After this uplift, I'm really tempted to just reform out to show you guys what Genesis Gods looks like. Yeah, we definitely also need to start prioritizing fabricator jobs here a little more. So yeah, let's start building some industrial districts. As currently, as you can see, our alloy income is not fantastic yet. So let's go ahead and reform after this uplift is done. It does mean we'll miss out on this one. Oh, I really want to do this one. I'm so greedy. I am so greedy. Autocannons, railguns. Yeah, so no cruisers, basically, unfortunately. But what we can do here is we have really good energy output right now. So 525 tech is also quite good. Thank you, Relic World, for making that happen. Let me think about this for a second. I do need to research gases, I just realized, because otherwise I'm never going to get that tier 2 energy upgrade building, which is really important. So that's another bit of a mistake. That's okay. Also, here we can turn this into an really good energy world too. As look at the amount of energy districts. Those are gonna be like tech and energy, but that's literally all you build when you play this build. Is you build technology, you build energy, and you build nothing else. The entire game. You build some naval cap at some point, but yeah, you'll be selling a huge amount of minerals as these arc furnaces really get rolling. Let's also get a bit of a starbase over here. And I think there's one more arc system we wanted to do over here. So let's go ahead and take that, I guess. Yeah, there's a couple more planets over here, but I think, like, let's see how close we get to finishing this tradition tree. To determine how many more uplifts we need, we have one more here. It's gonna give us 7,000 unity. I think we might need one more. We might just need the colonization of it, so let's go ahead and build it now. We should have built it earlier, but once again, my micro is bad. And we do get plasma. Since we're obviously not going to get, what's it called? The tier 2 alloy plant on our capital by year 30, we're not going to worry about that, and we're going to pretend we're going to play for this kind of plasma railgun destroyer. And we are getting a simulation of menial drones now. Nice. And yeah, everything here is actually going quite well, I would say. We're now making 223 alloys. It's year 26. We're making 547 tech, mostly thanks to that really lucky. What should we do with this planet? It's just another tech planet. Like, we can make rare resources on it, and yeah. Once again, we miss cruisers. Unfortunate. Yeah, just keep all buildings upgrading now, basically. This will basically make sure we have building slots if we ever need some buildings here or there or something like that. And as you can see, migrating the generators off our home planet and onto planets with energy grids has helped our economy a little bit. We do need a third energy planet. I think I'm just going to use this relic world, right? Because all planets, all pops can be moved to this relic world without a penalty, basically. in my empire, so we can use the relic world as an energy destination. When we need more energy, move pops over to it. Also, we're going to want to build a starbase that's mostly for what's it called? A starbase that is mostly dedicated towards why can't I think of the word? It's so simple. It is star shipyards. Yeah, for ship assembly. I'm sorry, my brain is so scrambled just from playing a little bit of Stellaris and trying to commentate. I'm sorry, but I am trying to show you guys. Ooh, 2,000 alloys. Oh, I can't say no to that. And yeah, so basically, now that our economy is relatively stable and we have almost enough unity, I just wish I came prepared to uplift one more time. Is we need to finish off this, right? 17 months, and then we need to reform out of Genesis. Um, hmm. So we're going to need to move a ship all the way over here and get this colony started. It's going to take a while. It's going to be like 4 or 5 years, but yeah, that's because I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't calculating and scouting good enough. So as you can see, there's just so many optimizations to make. As like once again, as you guys have noticed, probably for sure, most of the unity of this build definitely just does come from uplifting these pops. Most of the pops come from uplifting the pops too. So yeah. Also, I completely forgot. Let's just pause here and let's build a ship design. Of course, we missed cruisers for year 30. A greedy player here would build nothing. Okay, I don't have plasmas yet, so let's wait for plasma. Once again, take disruptors if disruptors are not banned. In a lot of higher level lobbies, disruptors are banned. So let's build what would be probably like the basic meta ship here. I don't even think I have combat computers. If you expect to come up against other plasma, this is good. If you don't, this is better. No combat computers really sucks, but once again, my tech skills could be better. So we're going to call this the Nia Destroyer because I think it's funny. And let's go ahead and just start queuing them up. Now, another thing that a really skilled player would do here is now that they're in the shipyard, what you can do is when they're about to finish, you can shift click them down to the bottom of the queue. And what this does is it kind of banks it so that all the ships finish exactly around year 30. I'm just going to say it, I don't have the micro for that. Nor do I want to have the micro for that. It is exhausting to do that. I am not going to bother. But I will say if you were optimizing for, well, the best possible gameplay, that is indeed what you would do. Why am I building energy grids here? Let's go ahead and move these over to our friendly neighborhood relic world. And yeah, basically, I just want to start the synth thing as soon as possible. Only 3 months away, and then we can look to reform our government. Does mean we'll need another chunk of unity to do that. Ooh, it's a great option here. Great option, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and take this. Let's go ahead and tell this to colonize this planet over here, and that will be kind of the last bit of unity we need before we can reform out. Once again, the earlier you can do that, the better. I just have some skill issues, so it comes a little bit late, but that's okay. And as you can see, we are making 245 alloys, regardless. Why'd I start that? Started that arc furnace, now I have to wait longer for the unity. We basically have to wait for this to finish colonizing. Oh my god. This is what I'm saying, though, is that playing Stellaris at an optimized level is extremely difficult, I will say. It takes a lot of skill and practice. And I'm definitely not there, so shout out to Pax, who this build is literally stolen completely directly from. Unashamedly tried to copy his build order to as good as I could with the number of saves I had. Right, which was provided from some players who are playing in that finals tournament game. where yeah he got the ridiculous 1,500 alloy production that year. What was the year again? It was not a lot. It was like 44. So yeah. Another reason I'm not going to be able to do that is he did double up on another of the same build. I haven't even made first contact yet, so let's go ahead and start, as we should probably at least try to be militarily stronger than our opponents at that time. Also didn't build enough shipyards. We only have 3 right now, so our fleet production is a little bit slow. But nevertheless, we shouldn't be too worried. We are making 309 alloys now, a very good amount, I would say, especially considering the amount of stockpile we had. It's not shabby at all. Also making 600 or so tech is a pretty good score for this time. Definitely something I would say you can be happy with. And let's also build an energy grid on this planet, as there's some leftover guys on this planet making energy. So yeah, it's always good to have more energy worlds. Charmer, sure, the all-knowing was definitely better there. Defense platform, yeah, I think both of these are not really needed, so you just pick one. It's really nice not having to build rare resources, thanks to the labyrinth as well. So keep that in mind when you play your own game, and you shouldn't expect this high tech numbers. Also, you could also sacrifice tech numbers for alloy numbers, which we have not done, but you totally can. Honor-bound warriors. You are a Grand Admiral, no scaling AI, so at this very moment you are probably stronger than me. Building slots are great. Building slots are great. I can't say no to that. One thing we can do now is we need to sell a few more minerals, say 100. And probably a few more alloys, say 19. And the last thing I want to show you guys, as soon as this stupid Genesis arc finishes, right, so we do gotta wait for that, is basically what to do to really push this build over the edge. And I'll explain it now, actually, is if you take a look at Astro Mining drones, it decreases your energy output and mineral output from drones. Luckily, we have no mineral drones, so that's not a problem. But we do have many energy drones, and a base output of -1 is really bad because all the percent modifiers edit on that 1, right? So if we have plus 50% from the capacity subsidies, and plus 50% from the building, I can't remember what the building is exactly, then we actually lose 2 energy credits per drone. And as you can see, that's going to really add up when we're probably employing like 20 or 30 energy drones over our empire. So this is going to massively boost our minerals, plus 50% station output, and our alloys, plus 50% from arc furnaces. These hundreds are going to go to like 116, something like that, and massively hamper our ability to make energy. But what you see highly skilled players doing is they reform out of that Astro Mining drones as soon as they get the maximum benefits from it. And what are the maximum benefits from it? Well, I'm not sure if it says in the name, but it also gives access to Astro Mining bays and Astro Mining hubs. What do Astro Mining hubs do? Well, Astro Mining hubs are an extremely powerful building which boosts the output of mining stations within a system. And if you can see where this is going, the mining stations from these arc furnaces are producing a ridiculous amount. 8 minerals, 5 per deposit, and there's like 20 deposits. So boosting that by another 20% makes each arc furnace system produce something really ridiculous, like 180 alloys per month. But we obviously don't want that. We don't want the energy downside. So what we do is we reform into it, build the Astro Mining hubs, and then we reform out again, and we get to keep the Astro Mining base. And that is basically how you can get the maximum benefit without any of the downside, and it is super powerful. One thing I would recommend, right, is you finish your tradition tree before, or when I say finish your tradition tree, I say finish the first 3 traditions to start your ascension situation just before you reform out of Genesis, as once you reform out of Genesis, the unity is gone. Like, it is nowhere to be found. Um, yeah, keep that in mind if you do want to reform out. Alternatively, in most casual lobbies, your economy is going to be so much stronger than other people at this point. I would say you don't even have to reform into astro mining. You don't need the extra alloys for the extra ships. Um, you can get away without it, is basically what I'm saying. And now that we're done supremacy, we can also change over to supremacist. And what supremacist is going to do is it's going to increase our naval cap a little bit, allowing us to have more ships, which is always useful. So yeah, that is basically this build. I will show the reform into Astro Genesis or whatever it's called as soon as this uplift is done. One more uplift. Also, what we need to do now is we need to start building naval capacity. This is basically the only three things that this build needs, right? It's technology, it's energy, and naval capacity. So we're going to start to build some naval capacity on our planets. Let's also do this situation slowly. Okay, we have been war decked as well by the AI. Let's see how we hold up. I'm not quite ready as we don't really have enough. What did I click? I clicked overwrite template. No, I don't want to do that. I want to reinforce. Reinforce. We will cut into our unity here. I'm going to turn on fleet supremacy. We definitely do need some more fleets more quickly. Let's build some more shipyards, so hopefully they come out a little bit faster. And let's wait to see what their fleets are like. We only made about 8k. Pretty mediocre, but with 330 alloy output, I wouldn't be too concerned. I wouldn't be too concerned. And that's an asteroid. Can I? If I kill the asteroid, do I get credit for that? These are the real questions we're asking. And another thing I completely forgot to do is we are making 7,000 minerals. Let's just build armies. We're going to use cackerel armies. This is the lithoid species, so they do get a little bonus. So build those first. Yeah, bit of a oops. We could have definitely militarized and that kind of stuff a little bit better. Get increased mining station output here again. And how's our uplift doing? Almost done, almost done. So yeah, you can see the power of this build. We started our ascension situation already by year 31. We have 320 alloys, okay-ish stable economy, 600 tech, which is pretty good, and a lot of capacity to increase it with 8 planets colonized. So we'll scale pretty quickly. And what we're going to do here is I'm just going to pause for this just to show you guys. Let's reform. No more Genesis Architects, Astro Mining Drones. Boom. If we start time again, let's wait for 1 month to pass. Let's also move our ships over to defend. We're making negative unity now. That's quite funny. Okay, let's build some simulation sites. We'll definitely need some for the amenities. As you can see, our amenities have kind of crashed. So let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, take a look at this. 360 alloys, 400 minerals. Let's increase the cell a little bit to support the economy. And yeah, we will need to move some of our jobs over away from tech and towards what's it called, Unity and that kind of thing from this. Right, so you can kind of see the downside as well. So how do we deal with the downside? Well, the way to deal with it is you reform out as soon as you can. I would say if you're worried about your economy, wait till you find the +1 civic tech. It's not here right now, but it does exist, I assure you. Right, so once you get that tech, that's when you reform in. And then the other thing you can do with this is, right, this is 137 alloys, right? What we're going to do is we're going to build Astro Mining Base, an Astro Mining Hub. Let's actually build the Astro Mining Hub as soon as we can. On all our systems where we have or plan to build arc furnaces. And the reason for this is, of course, the insane benefits we're going to get to our arc furnaces, and we'll also just fill up these entire star bases with Astro Mining Base. Like this, right? and this will boost our income to even more ridiculous levels. And of course, we're losing a little bit of energy, but we'll have to like bulk sell and stuff to be able to maintain it for a little bit. And where is our worlds here? Let's just build a few more generator districts where we can. And yeah, we definitely want to get out of negative unity. Negative unity is not what we want. So let's build some simulation sites. And they are invading us. They don't seem to have as many fleets as us. And this is a total war, so yeah, we can go clean them up if we need. They do have a 7k starbase though, so that's gonna take a bit of a fleet to clean up. I do want to wait for these kind of to fill up all the way. And we are gonna overcap on naval cap here too, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Let's build some more of these astro mining bays to support our economy, and we can start to build some anchorages and stuff also. We also just need more naval cap, so we're going to start to dedicate jobs towards naval cap. Do we just beat this? I mean, we could turn edicts on to yap and I'm not paying attention. Yeah, that wasn't too hard. That wasn't too hard. And we are total war. Oh, that was retaking my own station. I'm silly. Scholar is fine. If you ever find the Shroud Governor, by the way, always employ the Shroud Governor to your capital. It's great. It's really, really great. Yeah, just some more stuff you can do. Anyways, final note, after you are done with astro mining, right now we can't reform out because we don't have the tech. I'm not going to wait for it to show you guys at this point. What you're going to do is you're going to reform back out into, where is it? Not unitary cohesion, not that, not introspective. You're going to reform out into, there's one that reduce upkeep. Yeah, here we go. We're going to reform into built to last and whatever else you need. It could be OTA updates. It could be hyperspace just for movement speed. It could be basically whatever you want. It could be faster assembly if that's what you need. Anyhow, with that in mind, this is this build. You know, pretty good. The fleet could be better. 10k is not the same as 15 or 20k, but once again, you can cut this down to like 400 tech and more alloys if that's what you want. Yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.